Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Natty B, and as always I'm very happy to have you guys here. So welcome back to another episode of Triple T, which is Tea Talk Time. What is Tea Talk Time? Tea Talk Time is this time in my channel where we sit down, have a cup of tea while I give my personal and general opinion about a certain topic while drinking tea. So far so good. We have talked about perception, which is perceiving and being perceived, self-sabotage, and the last episode we did so far, we talked about how to overcome social exclusion and building self-worth. You are enough. And today's topic is all about the me versus the world around me. So get your cup of tea to get the tea. Vámonos. Let's talk about what this topic is trying to represent: the fire in me versus the world around me. It simply represents like this internal psychological and emotional conflict a person has. What is your goal? A person has to deal with to try to remain strong, authentic in the face of overwhelming external pressure or adversities or rejection, etc. So we've talked about like the inner fighter, the inner conflict that one has to deal with versus the external pressure or the external world. Let's try to understand both concepts. The inner fight comes from within. It is this constant battlefield between your mind and your heart, where your mind tries to remain grounded and persistent even though you are constantly surrounded by fear, limitation, doubt, failures, etc. So let's talk about these factors that influences your ability to keep on fighting even though you are surrounded by these fear, failures, limitation, etc. that we talked about before. Let's start with willpower. Personally, I'll define willpower as an ability a person has to keep on showing up even though things don't go as planned or even though things go slower than expected. It's like trusting the process, which is TTPing, trusting the process. And to be able to trust the process, willpower, the ability to have the ability to trust the process requires a lot of patience and self-compassion. The second factor that influences your ability to keep on being this fighter is self-belief. Self-belief is like the refusal to accept the limitation created by people around you or your surrounding. Is the refusal to accept all of this limitation. It's simply just saying they don't define me. I know who I am. Yeah. The third factor we're going to talk about, it is your identity. Your identity is simply holding on to who you are. Who you are is like your values, your morals, your essence, your culture. Holding on to all of these factors even though the world around you or your surrounding tries to reshape who you are. Just holding on to these and knowing who you are. The fourth and last factor that determines your ability to keep on fighting, it is the goal. The goal is like the vision, what you're fighting for, basically. Yeah. So in summary of all of this inner fight thing is simply like this inner voice that keeps telling you to keep going even though everything around you says quit, give up. It's just your ability to not let your circumstances determine your worth or your goals, basically. Yeah. Let's talk about the external factors or the external world around you. The external factors are simply everything outside of you that tries to be like this opposition of your growth. It's something you don't really have an active control over it, and you just have to face it. You can't control it, you just have to face it. The first external factor we need to talk about is underestimation. Underestimation is basically people's perception about you. It's like people creating limitation and refusing to see the potentials in you. That is definitely something you can't have like an active control over. We have general systems that work against us. We can't control that, we just have to face it. We also have like societal norms. Societal norms are like the current trends that try to like erase our reality or recreate our reality. That's just something we can't control as well. We also have other challenges like being misunderstood by people around us, by our surrounding, or being judged for our shortcomings. All of these external factors actually pressures us to quit. But we have like this inner fighter in us that keeps us rooted and resilient no matter what. So let's just make a quick summary of the conflict between the inner fighter versus the world the world around us. The world around us gives us this pressure to conform, to give us like the pressure to conform to our surrounding, while our inner fighter gives us this desire to stay authentic, to stay strong no matter what. We have the world around us that tells us you are not good enough, and you have like this your inner self. No matter the negativity around your surrounding, your inner self always finds a way to tell you are good enough just who you are. So all of this we have talked about has its advantages and its disadvantages. Start with the advantages first of all. What are the advantages of being a fighter, or of fighting, of not fighting physically, not like a fist fight, but mental fight within yourself? Because beside this fighting as a mental, emotional conflict from within, between your heart and your mind, so it's not like a fist fight. So what are the advantages of your ability to keep fighting? We will say the first one is it builds resilience. Resilience, as we've talked about, is simply your ability to bounce back after every situation. It simply helps you to know how strong you are, what you can endure, and what you can do. Basically, that's resilience. That's the first advantage we can talk about. Second factor we're going to talk about is the fact that it increases self-awareness. Your self-awareness is just your ability to understand who you truly are. Personally, I believe in the fact that a person who truly understands who they are when things get hard, when things get chaotic, when things don't go as planned, that's when you like sit down and try to like understand who you are, and try to like understand how to overcome that certain situation. This leads us to the third advantages of fighting. The third advantages of fighting is it fuels purpose. Pain or struggles or situations often lead to new clarity and new meaning of things. No matter how hard it is, we definitely learn things we didn't know we could through pain. Yeah, the advantage of being this inner fighter is that it empowers authenticity. You get a point where you stop living for other people, you stop living for other people's approval, or you stop living according to people's limitation. You start living for yourself. You create your own path, and you stop living for other people. You stop being a people pleaser. You take decisions you take more decisions. You're authentic. You're an authentic person. It empowers authenticity. And the fifth advantage I can think of is like a positive influence, like building up who you truly are, bring positive influence to other people. Yeah, I'm having a cold. So we've talked about some like 5 advantages of being an inner fighter. Everything that has advantages has disadvantages. Let's look at like the downer part, like the cons. We've seen the pros. Now let's see the cons and disadvantages of being an inner fighter. Fighting the external forces. Fighting the external forces we have no control over. The first one is like the mental fatigue it causes. Being on a constant battle mode actually drains your energy. It drains your energy, your joy. It just makes you to just feel really tired. Mentally, you just feel tired. It also causes isolation. The fact that you feel like no one really understands the personal, the psychological battle you are facing, it causes you to like withdraw and try to face these battles on your own, and it kind of causes a certain, it kind of causes loneliness, not a certain form of loneliness. It causes loneliness. Another active disadvantage is the emotional numbness it causes. The fact that you are always on a constant battle mode causes you to like lose touch with your emotions, because you have to suppress your emotions. To be able to stay strong and authentic, you have to suppress your emotions, and these suppressions actually makes you to slowly but surely lose connections with your emotions. It also causes you to be afraid of vulnerability, because you are used to having to do everything on your own, so you're like really scared to like open up to the wrong crowd, etc. And yeah, that's the disadvantages of like fighting, of always fighting, of being a fighter. And that's the advantages and the disadvantages of being in a constant battle mode. After understanding all of the inner fighter versus the world around us and all of the external challenges and everything, let's try to create important points that will help us to face fear, confusion, and certain challenges that come. The part of fear, we need to understand fear for what it is. Personally, I feel like fear is not an enemy. Fear is like this feeling that helps us to understand what really matters more. Yeah. The second thing we're going to talk about is reframe challenges. We need to understand that challenges is not like a proof we are failing. It is a proof we are trying. And instead of just saying, why is this certain thing happening to me, we need to ask, what is this thing or this challenge or this situation trying to teach me? We need to focus more on like the lesson is trying to teach me. It's okay to have like mental breakdowns, it's okay, but we need to focus more on the lesson the situation is trying to teach us at the moment. The third thing we're going to talk about is to quiet the world around you to hear your voice. It's more of practicing solitude, not loneliness. Solitude is like just detaching yourself from people's opinion and believing the fact that your value or your path is not determined by people's opinion. The third thing we're going to talk about is accepting confusion for what it is. Personally, I feel like there is a new form of clarity that's found in confusion, and it's okay not to have all the answers yet. Being like this dilemmatic situation helps you to find like a new form of clarity, and it is okay to be confused. Being confused shows that you are moving away from your comfort zone, and I think it's positive. Yeah, it's a positive thing, being able to move away from your comfort zone, being able to move away from where you are, your comfort zone, literally. Yeah. The last thing we're going to talk about is building a support system. I feel like finding like a certain group, even if it's a small group, finding like people who water your growth, people who are ready to support you no matter what, who are ready to support you mentally, and also accepting the fact that vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a bridge of helping you to find new clarity as well, because it allows you to accept the fact that yeah, you are tired, you're a human being, you can be tired as well, and it allows you to be Yeah, allows you to be able to like, express yourself better. And as Lady Gaga always says,
you know, 100 people can be in a room and 99 don't believe in you, and just one person believes in you, and it can change everything.
You know, there could be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe, but all it takes is one.
There can be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe in you, and you just need one to believe in you, and that was him. So
You can have 100 people in the room that are watching you and 99 don't believe in you, and one does, and that was him.
there can be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe in you, and just one does. You know, there can be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe in you, and just one does.
100 people, and there could be in one room, right? And 99 don't believe in you, but just one believes, and it can change your whole life. 100 people in the room you can have, and 99 don't believe in you, and just one does, and it changes your whole life. And
There can be 100 people in a room, maybe there is right now, and 99 don't believe in you, but all you need is just for one person to believe.
I probably said this earlier, but there can be 100 people or 1,000 people in the room and 9,000 or 900.
it is better to find one person that actually believes in you that can really, really, really change your part. And what's the summary for all of the video we've seen so far? The summary is you versus the world. It doesn't mean war. It is simply refusing to let external chaos diminish or dim or extinguish your light as a person. Personally, I believe in life as a roller coaster. Like, you're going to have highs and you're going to have lows. The fact that you just have to accept every single phase of it, the high, you have to accept the highs and the lows just as it is. So we have come to the end of